Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, the NFL's new brew. This week, Coors Light announced that it was ending its 9-year run as the official beer of the National Football League. Chicago-based MillerCoors sent a memo to distributors saying the company decided not to renew its sponsorship after the current deal expires after next year's season. MillerCoors has never said what it spends on the NFL deal, but an industry watcher values it at about $500 million. In the memo, MillerCoors said it could not agree on a price, but it's clear there was a bidding war. Just hours after the MillerCoors announcement, Anheuser-Busch said Bud Light would be the new beer of the NFL beginning in 2011. It did not say how long the deal is or what it costs. The news may be disappointing to MillerCoors distributors, who have seen Coors Light numbers spike during football season. Coors Light had been the fastest growing beer in recent years, but sales this year have slowed. Loyola University professor Herb Ritchell says Anheuser-Busch, which is now owned by Belgium's InBev, needs the sponsorship more.
After the takeover, they're a foreign-owned company now. They've seen some significant share erosion, and they need to reinvest in the American market. And what better way to do it than through NFL football sponsorship? They've lost some share, and they, I think, need to prove to their distribution again that they're very serious about growing the U.S. market.
MillerCoors says it will keep deals with individual NFL teams, something that Jim Andrews says is even more valuable.
Especially for a beer company, where you're really going to get a lot of traction is by being able to do local promotions around whether it's the Bears or the Steelers or the Cowboys. That's where that's where the fans are. That's where the passion points lie. There aren't a lot of people who identify themselves as fans of the NFL. That's just not a real compelling platform.
Coach Nika!
MillerCoors will now have a lot of money to spend elsewhere, and that will probably include new ads. The press conference spots like this one, starring retired Bears coach Mike Ditka, feature official NFL logos and footage, which Coors Light won't be able to use once the current deal expires. MillerCoors has a year to figure out how to grab the same male audience it did during NFL games. Like other major advertisers, the company may use digital media.
They may find themselves using television advertising to be delivered over the internet. That's going to grow, especially for their target audience. The young 20-somethings may not be spending as much time viewing television as their predecessors did.
The new NFL sponsorship deal does carry some risk for Anheuser-Busch. Owners and players have not agreed to terms on a new collective bargaining agreement yet for the 2011 season. Any ad campaign they do could be lost to a work stoppage. Well, that's all for this edition of Chicago Business Today. For more on this story, be sure to check out chicagobusiness.com, where you can find all of your breaking news. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.